Hey everyone, I hope I'm audible. So let me quickly test this and also let me fix this music. I think the music is too loud. So just give me a second. Let me do the settings and then I can talk about like what we are going to do today. But let me just confirm if I am audible. Okay, awesome. I am, and I think I have to fix the music. It's a bit too loud for me at the moment. So maybe yes. Um, awesome. Um, I am not sure why, but StreamYard is like lagging for me today. So hi, we have some news or viewer here. I am very bad with the names, so I'm not going to pronounce your name because I'm pretty sure if I will pronounce it wrong. But yeah, hi, and thanks for joining. So I'm not very sure what's going on today, but StreamYard is lagging a bit. It's an issue that's happening with me for like the past more than a year. Somehow it got fixed recently when I start streaming on MLH and GitHub, Twitch, but it is happening today. I am not exactly sure why, but I hope for this session it works, and then from the next session I might try to switch to OBS. But yeah, hey folks, if you're joining for the very first time, so today we are going to talk about GitHub branches and pull request and the different type of like how you merge the branch, like which are like the merge, squash, rebase, etc. So we are going to talk about branches, all about branches. And if you're joining for the very first time, so I am Saran. I'm known as Khatak Dev on the internet, and yeah, I work at MLH Fellowship. So let's just jump into it. Let me quickly share my screen, uh, and we can start talking about this. So let me figure out which is the correct screen that I have to share. I believe that's it. Awesome. All right. So yeah, let's jump into it. And let me maybe I think this is fine. Okay, so this is a bit. I'm going to start with a bit of theory to give you an idea, and then we are going to talk about how can you do this in practical. So yeah, we are going to talk about the branches and pull requests. So let's first start with like what are branches. Um, so here, I'm just going to confirm if my screen is being shared perfectly fine because in the StreamYard I'm seeing some kind of issues on that page actually. So yeah, I hope it's fine now. All right. Okay. So when we are working, these circles consider this as commits. So when we are working, we are just doing these commits as we are making progress, and that is like the normal like how it works. But what if you want to do make some changes and you are not very sure either it's going to break the code, either it's like you're going to experiment something, or maybe you have an internee that wants to do some changes and you are not very confident about him. So what that person can do, that internally, or what you can do as if you are going to experiment something, you can make some new branches. And branches is like copying all the code that you have and making like a different folder. Um, Not practically making a different folder, but kind of like take it as an example, making a different folder and then doing the changes. So that means that the copy that you make, uh, it will be like other changes that will be making will be affected on that copy. Um, and then this main branch will be unaffected, and then at the end you can then merge those changes. So let me give you a demonstration. So you have the main branch, and then you have, for example, you have an issue and you name that as issue 99. uh, just give me a second. Let me see why is this not working. Let me reshare my screen because for some reason it's not working very well. Stop sharing, share screen again, and screen one. So I'm on Firefox today. Usually I use Google Chrome, but I'm on Firefox. Maybe that's the reason. I'm not very sure, but yeah. So you have issue 99, and how this issue 99 is going to happen. So you have the commits, and you make an issue, um, and that is how, like, that's something like this. So you have the commits, and like from the second commit we put a new branch, and this is like kind of like a new folder. Again, not in practical, like, no, you're not going to practically copy a new folder and make changes to that, but this is how it works. So here is how it works. So you have the issue 99, and then you make a new branch, and then once all the changes are done, you then merge that branch to the main. But here is another example. So you have feature that is 55, and like these are just the names, like issue 99, feature 55. um, I'm not very sure why is Google Firefox is giving me some hard time. I can see the tabs are not appearing very well, so let me try if this fixed the issue. I'm not going on a full screen, and let me see if this fixed the issue. uh, this is going to be like a very bad demonstration, but I'm not very sure why is this not working. um, yeah, okay, so let me quickly explain it here, and then maybe I can try it again. So you have the main branch, and then you have the issue 99 and the feature 55. So issue 99 and feature 55 are the two branches that you made. And when you are working on the issue 99, the commits you're making is not affecting the main branch, which is the one that's in yellow. And then in the feature 55 is actually made from issue 99. So which means that we have the main branch, we make issue 99 from the main branch, and we also make feature 55 from issue 99. So this means that feature 55 has the first commit of issue 99, and issue 99 has other commits before this, including this one. And then at the end, you can then simply merge that at the end. So when I'm working on the issue 99, it's not going to affect the main branch. And when I'm working on feature 55, it's not going to affect issue 99 or main. And then at the end, I can simply merge that. And when I'm merging, anyone from my team can see the changes. And if there is anything that's not working good, so they can comment that, they can make a comment on that, and I can check that, and I can respond to that. And once everything is working perfectly fine, everything is okay, so then someone from the team can merge those changes. So that is about the branches, and that is how it works. Now I'm again going on a full screen, and I hope it works now. So yeah, this is what I explained now. It's not working, so I believe I have to avoid the full screen. So talking about yeah, so talking about like how exactly it works. So we have the first branch, we have the first commit, we made the second commit. Now at this point we want to do experimentation, or maybe an intern from our team wants to do some experimentation, and we do not trust him that much. And this is not just about the intern, this is also something possible with a senior developer as well. And this is actually a good practice. So what you have to do is, if you have to work on an issue or a feature or anything, you have to check out to a new branch. Making a new branch, moving to a new branch is called checkout. So you check out to the new branch, you start working on that, whereas the main branch has also like someone is also adding some comments to that. And then at the end, when the issue 99 is completed, you merge those changes to the main branch. There are different type of like merging, but yeah, so like when you're moving to a new branch, it's called checkout, and when you are merging the changes, it's called merge. Now yeah, so there are three types of merge, which is merge, squash, and rebase. We are going to talk about that, but the two slides that I just talked about, let's see that in action. What I mean by that is, let me open my Visual Studio Code and let's see that how exactly this works, and let me also give you an idea by writing those commands. So for that, I have to open my terminal. So my Visual Studio Code actually. And So let me make a new file, and I can call it branches, and I can open that in Visual Studio Code. Okay. Yeah, I know this is also not working very well, the code terminal, but yeah, I hope my Visual Studio Code works well. Or maybe what I can do for now is, okay, if this still gives an issue, I will then try to do something. For at least I will try to make sure that I fix this in the next stream. Okay, this is still giving me an issue. Maybe I can. I'm going to stop my sharing, and I'm going to share just the Visual Studio Code, and maybe that fixes the issue. I hope so. Get started, and yep. So I hope this fixed the issue. It's working fine for now. So hoping for the best. And also let me share my browser as well, so that okay, I cannot share multiple things at once. All right, so I'm going to make maybe a simple index.html file here, and I am going to zoom in a bit. Oops, too much zoom. Clear this screen, and I am going to initialize a Git repository. This is something that we did in the very first session of this stream. So if you don't know like what I just did, so I basically initialized the Git repository. And if you don't know what is the Git repository and how to initialize that and what is the initialization, you may need to watch the very first stream, because this is a whole stream, a whole series on GitHub and Git. Now let me do some changes here. So I'm going to use the emit from Visual Studio Code and maybe add some random thing. Maybe this is a heading. This is a heading from main branch. Okay, so we just added HTML and added in H1. Don't forget about like the whole content I have here, that 12 lines, because that's in emit, and that's like something very simple. The goal here is not to understand what is in this index.html. The goal here is to understand how branches works. So I'm going to commit this, and the way you commit this using terminal. Last time we did the commits and moving it to the staging area and all those kind of things. I use the GUI, but this time I'm going to use the terminal. So you have to do git add dot, and that basically add everything to the staging area, and then just simply do git commit add index.html. So that's added. Now we have a commit. Now we want to check out to a new branch. So how can you check out? So for that, let's first see how many branches we have here. So if I do get branch, I can see main here only. So I have to do control. Oops. Why can't I exit? I forgot the command. What was the command for this? I closed my Visual Studio Code by mistake. So let me open that again. Yeah. Okay, so this is not working anymore. Let me share this again. Share screen. You have to bear with me today. I'm not sure why I'm having a lot of issues today, but yeah, I will try to make sure to fix this, and it doesn't happen again. Okay, so we just saw that we have only one branch. Now to make a new branch, what you have to do is you have to do git branch, and then the branch name. So I'm going to make maybe feature, and now if I do get branch, I have two branches. Oops. If I do get branch, I have the feature and the main. And if you see, the main is highlighted. Let me do it again here. So the main is highlighted. What does that mean? That means that we are currently on the main branch. And you can also see that from here. This means like here you can see the current branch. Now let's try to, the first thing that we have to do is we created the branch, but we also have to move to the feature branch. So for that, you have to do git checkout. As I said when I was showing the slides, git checkout, and then the branch name. So git checkout feature, and this will check out to the feature branch. Now here, what I have to do is add some extra commits. So maybe I can make in index.style.css actually, and let's keep this empty and add git add git add dot. I always use git add dot, but you can also specify the file names like git add style.css, index.html, index.js, and other file names. Yeah. So and then let me commit this git commit -m, maybe add styling. All right. So let me clear the screen. So if I do git log, I can see the commits here that I did, which is the first commit was add index.html and add styling. I just did the add styling commit in the feature branch, because the add index.html is something that happened in the main branch. But I check out to this branch. I made the feature branch after adding the index.html index.html commit, the first commit. So that is why it also exists here as well. Now with that, so if I move back to my main, and also let me show you like what happens if I do git branch. So now here you see the feature branch is highlighted. So that means I'm currently on the feature branch, and you can exit from that screen by pressing Q on your keyboard. So if I now go to git checkout main to the main branch, here you can see that I do not have the style file here. It doesn't exist here, which means that whatever changes I'm making or whatever experimentation I'm doing in the feature branch, that does not affect the index.html, the main branch at all. So that means that I can do anything in the feature branch and it will not affect this branch. So that is the most important reason, the main reason why we have the branches and why we use branches. Whenever you're working on something, whenever you're working on a feature, whenever you're working on an issue, you have to use the branches, because this way you are very confident that whatever changes you make, at the end of the day, you will not be making any changes to the original code, because that is something that happens when you make a pull request and merge the changes. And changes are merged when you make a pull request, and that is accepted. Like I'm talking about the best practice in the open source environment. So and how we make a pull request, we are going to talk about that. But yeah, this is how it works. Now, before we move on to the, so like there are a few things that I will be covering in the session, which is like one of the main thing is the pull request, how you make a pull request on the GitHub, which is like a very beginner thing. But chances like I do assume maybe some of you are not very sure what is a pull request and how to make one. So I will be talking about that. But the most important and maybe the most confusing one, about which I was also confused for the most of my life, was what exactly is the merge, rebase, and squash, and how it works. I'm going to talk about that as well. And that I believe is the most exciting part and the interesting part in this series, in this session. So I'm going to talk about that. But let's for now forget about merge, squash, rebase, those kind of things. Let's just for now assume that there is one command that is there is one way to merge the changes, and that is by merging it. There is no rebase, there is no squash for now. So I have my main, I have my feature. We sub both of them. Now I want to merge the feature branch into my main branch locally in my VS Code. So what I can do for that is I can do git merge feature, and that will merge the feature here. So keep this in mind. This was confusing for me initially, that when you're doing git merge and then the branch name, you may be asking like which branch is merged into which branch. So the branch in which you are currently, in that branch, the branch which you mention here is merged. So if I do git merge feature when I'm in the main branch, that means that the feature branch will be merged into the main branch. if I'm on the feature branch and I do git merge issue or anything like that, or maybe git merge main, that means that the main branch will be merged into feature. So whatever branch you're into, the thing that the branch that you add in the in the command, that branch will be merged into the branch in which you are currently. So that is how it works. So keep that thing in mind. Now if I do git log, so here you can see add tagging, and the head is at the main and the feature. So main and the feature both are at the same place. So yep, that is how it works. Now the next thing I have to do is I need to make a GitHub repository to talk about what is a pull request, and then I can talk about like what is merge, what is rebase, and what is squash, and when to use which. So yeah, but before that, let me also talk about maybe one of the shorthand which I use and which is quite useful for me at least. That is so. For example, you have to make a new branch. So what I did before is I did git branch feature, and then I have to move that to that branch. So I did git checkout feature. So these are two different commands. What if you want to do that both of that in a single command? So you can do that as well. So for example, I want to make a new branch issue, and then I want to check out to the issue. So I can do git checkout dash d. I believe it's dash d. Let's see. So dash d and then the branch name. Nope, it's not dash d. So it's dash b, not dash d. Here you can see create and check out a new branch. So get checkout dash b and the branch name. It's going to be issue, and we move to a new branch which is issue. So yeah. Here is again, let's just quickly refresh what we just did. Branches is a concept in Git, and the version control environment, version control system, which helps you to experiment with your code. And when you want to do new things, when you want to try out new things, the advantage of branches is that you can do whatever you want with your code, while still being confident that your main branch or your main code, the code that is in your production, in simple ways, in simple words, is not going to be affected. And once you do everything, like for example, if you have to work on a new issue, you can check out to a main branch, you can make a new branch, you can do that code, you can add a feature, you can fix this issue, and then you can merge that. Now we just merge like the feature into the main, but that happened in locally. But how can we do that in the main, in like the main repository on the GitHub repository? Let's see that as well. So for this, I have to switch to my Google Chrome. So since I was just sharing my what do we call this, Visual Studio Code. So let me now maybe share my whole screen. I hope it works this time. So yeah, let me open Visual Studio Code and then go to GitHub. I have no idea why this does not work. Let me see if this works. Oops, this also does not work. Yeah. Okay, so here we have to make a new branch. We have to make a new repository actually. So I'm going to simply make a new repository, and I can maybe call it get branches, and it can be anything. I'm not going to add a description or any of these things, and just click on just repository, create repository. And now I have this repository. So I am going to copy this, and I'm moving back to my Visual Studio Code, and connecting both of these. So git remote add origin, and then the repository name. So this connects like both of the repositories. Now if I do git remote -v, okay, so if I do now git remote, let me clear the screen and do it. Git remote -v. What happens here is that seriously, I'm not going to use the Firefox ever again for the StreamYard. Yeah, I have no idea why is this not working, but I'm not going to use it again for any of my stream. Google Chrome for life. So, okay. Now the next thing is that you can see if I do git remote -v, like maybe this is something that you don't know. When you do git remote -v, you see all the commands, are the what do we call this? Are the GitHub repositories that are connected to your local repository. Now, the next thing is that I have to push the changes. So I'm going to push the main branch. So for that, I have to check out to main and then git push. You may not see, like I can see I just type git checkout main, but I believe that's not something you can see on the screen. But yeah, I just did that. So git push origin main, and now we have the branch here. Okay, now this is not working, so let me stop sharing and just share the file, just share the Google Chrome, because I am just going to talk about Chrome. I'm just going to talk about like the GitHub repository now. So all right, so I have this branch, and imagine someone else also made new branch and pushed that. So I'm not going to push that from my browser, from my Visual Studio Code. I'm going to push that. I'm actually going to create a new branch here, and maybe I can call it a name feature, and just click on create. By the way, that's how you create a new branch in GitHub. We also saw how can you create a new branch in your Visual Studio Code using terminal in the Git, and this is how you create a new branch in GitHub. So I have this branch, and maybe I can do some quick changes here, and then we can see like how can you make a pull request. So maybe in the index.html, I can say this is from feature branch. This is some random commit, and yeah, again the idea is to help you understand like what are the pull requests and what are the different type of merge. So when someone pushed the code of a different branch, you will like this prompt will appear which says the branch name had a recent pushes less than a minute ago, and like yeah, this is something that will appear, and then you will have this button compare and pull request. So basically we have to now make a pull request. And what is pull request? So pull request is basically a request that you are making to the team, to the GitHub repository, which basically means to the team that, hey, I made the changes. I want you, the team, to see this and see if everything looks good. Maybe you can merge these changes with the main branch. So this way, the main branch is going to be secured, and then what does that mean? So that means is that whatever changes you made, someone from the team can see those changes, see if there is anything like maybe you did not follow the standard, or maybe you did not you missed something or something like that. So someone else can see your code and add some comments, and when everything works fine, when everything is good to go, then that person can merge the changes, approve your code, and your changes can be merged. So which is like a kind of security check. You cannot directly push your code to the production. It has to pass from a human, and then it will be moved to the production. So we have to make a pull request here. so I either I can make it from here, compare in pull request, or I can go to the pull request tab and click on the new pull request. And when I do that, I have to do two things. I have to select two things. One is the base branch to which the pull request will be merged, to which the code will be merged, and the one is from which the code will be merged. So in this case, the code from the feature branch will be merged to the main branch. When I do that, you can see the changes here, what changes I did. So this is a heading from feature branch, and that is the change that you can see here. And then I can simply click on create pull request, add a header, and leave some comments. The best practice is that you give like a very proper name, proper title, um, and then also some good description, maybe some with some screenshots, if possible, to make sure that whoever is reviewing your code can get a very good idea. So add the following. Maybe I can add something like add the following files, and this was index.html, and then style.css, and this is how it's going to look. And I'm going to simply make a pull request. Once my pull request is made, I can assign it to someone. So I can maybe assign it to myself. I can also add someone as to review this. So let me see if I can tag. Okay, I cannot tag here anyone because I believe that's because no one contributed to this before. Yeah. So I believe I have to like add them as a collaborator. But here is like where you can add someone as to review this. Here are the labels that you can add. So this was the feature. So we can add something like feature. Here we don't have, like, these are like some default labels. Maybe I can add the documentation. This gives the reviewer an idea of like what this is about. And then maybe you don't need to worry about this at the moment. Yeah. So once everything is done, so then you have like the option here to either create a merge commit, squash and merge, rebase and merge. Now this is the most interesting this is the most interesting part of the, I believe, of this whole stream. Like, what is the merge commit, what is the squash and merge, and what is rebase? So let me go back to the slides and give you an idea by an example. What is merge? You have the main branch. You did the changes. You did this change, and then you added two commits, and then you made a new branch. You made two commits here, which is a feature, and then here I merge the changes. So by merging, it means that all the history I have here, it will be added here. So this means like merge basically preserves the history for you. So like I have the two commits here, it will be added here. And so this means that all the commits that I make here, that will be added to the main. This actually populates the main branch logs with all the commits that you did. So that is like one of the downside, which is why I personally do not prefer to use the merge, create a merge commit, this first option. But this actually preserves the history, which means like your git commit main branch commit history will be populated. So for example, if you made like 5 commits in the feature branch, and if you merged it, it will add like 5 commits there. So yeah, it populates it with other commits. The next option, which I usually use, is the squash. What does squash do? It moves the code changes, which means like, for example, you did those changes, it will be moved. But so this is how it works. So for example, I have like 5 commits. All of the changes will be moved to the main branch, but it will squash them, which means like it will not have like the whole long history of the commits. It will be squashed. So that this is what I use and what I usually prefer, because it doesn't populate the main branch, main logs, the branch commit history. It just add like one commit, and you can add some extra details or description in the some extra details in the description, but it just add one commit. And then we have like the rebase. The difference between the rebase and merge is basically merge preserves the history, whereas rebase rewrites the history. So what does that mean? I have like these commits. I made a new branch, which is the feature, and it has two commits. Now, when I rebase this, it takes the commits and add it to the tip of the main branch. So, which means that these two branches will be added here, and this will have like a total completely new history. So it rewrites the history for you, whereas merge preserves the history for you. So that is like the difference between the merge and rebase and squash. I hope this makes sense. If you have any question or confusion about this, feel free to ask that in the chat. But that is how it works. Now, coming back to our slides, or pull request. So here you have an option. Either you want to create a merge commit, you want to squash and merge, you want to rebase and merge. And here you can also see the description. In the rebase, the one commit from this branch will be rebased and added to the base branch, which means that it will change the history. In squash, the one commit from this branch will be added to the base branch. In this case, we have just one commit, so it doesn't make a lot of sense if we choose a specific one, because it's just like a single commit. But if you're like, imagine having like 10 commits or 20 commits or something like that. So in that case, you have to decide what you want to use. So in this case, I can maybe, if I go with the squash and merge and I click squash, this is the title, and here is going to be the description. Whatever title in the description you have, that will be used as a commit, which means that if you have like even 50 commits, that will be removed. I mean, like that will not be saved to the main branch. It will be just like this one commit with this branch, with this title and the heading, not the heading, the description that you had. And then if I simply do confirm squash and merge, it will merge the changes. And then here in the main branch, you will be able to see those changes here. So for example, I just did squash, so that happens here. So this is the main difference between squash, merge, and rebase. I hope this makes sense. And again, if you have any confusion about this, if you still have any confusion, feel free to ask. Now, yeah. So this was about like almost, this was about today's session, which was to talk about, like, give you a quick idea of like what is branches, and what is a pull request, and like what are the different ways to merge two branches, which is a simple merge, a rebase, and a squash. And to quickly revise that, merge is basically to preserve the history, squash is to squash the commits and make a single commit and add that at the end of the main branch, and rebase is to give them like change the history of those branches and add it to the tip of the main branch. So yep, that's about it for today's stream. Yeah, initially in my introduction I said I am from I work at MLH Fellowship. So if this is something that you don't know, or you're hearing for the very first time, so here is the link I would suggest you to check, which will give you a very good idea of like what is MLH Fellowship. And I just shared that in the chat, so you can see that. Basically, MLH Fellowship is a 12 weeks of program which helps you to get your hands dirty on some actual projects. And like it can be a project from maybe Amazon, it may be a project from Facebook, GitHub, anything. So yeah, please do check out the website for more details. And as usual, I do have like one small request for everyone, which is to, if you can spare some time to fill out this survey, that will be wonderful thing if you can do that. And I'm going to share this as well in the chat. It's literally going to take like 10 seconds. Yeah, if you're like very good typing speed. And Yep, here it is. I also shared this in the chat. So please do fill this. Yeah, trust me, it's going to just take 10 seconds, and it's going to help me a lot to improve the future stream. I know this stream did not went very good, which was probably due to Firefox. I'm not going to stream like ever on Firefox, and this is something that you also need to like maybe keep in mind. I'm not sure what's the reason for that. Why it did not? Why was it not working with if I share my host screen? But yeah, just don't stream on Firefox. Uh, hey, I'm not sure what's your name. I'm not going to pronounce the names. I stopped doing that, but yeah, hey. I am not sure what are you asking? Um, if you can maybe, I'm not sure what exactly do you mean. If you can rephrase it, or maybe add some more explanation to the question, I might be able to answer you. But yeah, so yeah, please do fill out the survey in case if you still have not. Um, let me actually see how many of you have filled the survey. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Uh, let me see. I'm not going to end the stream. I can see 9 people here. I am expecting that 9 people have filled the survey, but let me see. If you have not yet, please do so. Uh-huh. So I'm going to repeat myself again. If yeah, I can see some of you are like some of you have not filled it yet. So please do so. It's literally going to like take 1 second, 10 seconds actually. Yeah, and it will help me. So yep, please do fill it. And yep, that is almost it. My friend, I am not sure what you're talking about because I do not speak that language. So yeah, unfortunately, if you can say that in English, I may be able to answer you. But yep, that's pretty much it. And we will be live again next week. And till then, have a good day, have a great weekend, have a great week, that weekend, and take care of yourself. And yep, that's it. Keep learning Git with me, and have a good day. Bye.